Back in my second year of college, an unsettling night unfolded that left me questioning the very fabric of safety on our campus. The evening started like any other, filled with the lively hustle of students until an unexpected, piercing alarm shattered the vibrancy. Panic ensued, and amidst the chaos, I found myself stranded in the forgotten, desolate enclave of the campus, a place shrouded in eerie silence and dilapidated buildings. Lost in the dimly lit passages, I stumbled upon a forsaken lecture hall, a place that seemed to echo with the whispers of forgotten knowledge. As the lockdown enveloped the campus, I found myself confined within its walls, the lights dimming to cast an eerie pall over the room. Seeking refuge, I sought out a decrepit bathroom nearby. The faint moonlight filtering through a grimy window barely illuminated the space, lending an otherworldly quality to the unsettling silence that filled the room. A sense of foreboding hung heavily in the air. Amidst the oppressive silence, faint whispers began to manifest, their words cryptic and unnerving, seemingly originating from within the very walls themselves. They murmured of safety in a way that sent a shiver down my spine, their source shrouded in mystery. Suddenly, heavy footsteps echoed ominously outside the bathroom, their rhythm deliberate and foreboding. My heart raced in the hopes they would pass by unnoticed. But they halted abruptly by the door, and the air was punctuated by an unnerving knocking, initially faint, then intensifying to an urgent and desperate clamor. The scratching sounds that followed were grating and persistent, as if someone or something desperately sought entry. Fear clenched my chest tightly, an overwhelming sense of imminent danger closing in. From a neighboring stall, a familiar voice, a classmate's, whispered urgently, "Crawl through the other stalls," their voice laced with both fear and urgency. Without a moment's hesitation, I followed their whispered instructions, moving stealthily from stall to stall, cautiously inching closer to the unknown presence on the other side. Emerging from the last stall, the door burst open with a deafening crash. Blinding light flooded the room, revealing not one, but two shadowy figures standing at the entrance. Cloaked in dark attire with eerie masks concealing their features, they exuded an inexplicable aura of anticipation and mystery. Yet, what struck me most was the emergence of a third figure, a silhouette that emerged from the darkness, instantly recognizable, a respected professor known for their academic prowess and strict demeanor. The sight left me frozen in disbelief. Students collaborating with a revered professor during a lockdown? It made no sense. Swiftly, the professor produced a small, metallic keycard, deftly swiping it across a concealed panel. With a flicker, the emergency light shut off, and the trio swiftly darted out, leaving me alone, bewildered, and engulfed by an uncanny sense of surrealism. When the all-clear finally sounded, and help arrived, I recounted the surreal encounter, but it led to a dead end. The inexplicable alliance between students and a professor during a lockdown remained an enigmatic puzzle, shrouded in secrecy, deepening the sense of unease that permeated the campus. In the aftermath, whispers lingered, theories floated, but the truth remained veiled, leaving an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of the campus, a haunting tale whispered in the corridors and dimly lit hallways, echoing with enigmatic sound effects and unfathomable mystery. Back when I was a guard at this small-town high school, there was a day that felt downright eerie. You know those days when it feels like the air is thick and something's just not right? Well, that was that day. I was stationed at the front when a teacher hurried over, looking really anxious. She whispered about someone acting all sorts of weird at the back of the school. I tried to call for backup, but all the other guards were tied up. So, it was on me to check it out. Rain was pouring down hard as I made my way to the back. And there it was, a white van parked by the gym. Gave me the chills, but I had a job to do. With my trusty flashlight, I headed inside. The school was quieter than a mouse, just the rain making all the noise. I called out, hoping for a reply, but it was as quiet as a ghost town. As I got closer to the locker rooms, I heard this strange scratching noise, like someone dragging their nails on a chalkboard. I stepped inside, and it was pitch black, except for my flashlight beam. Every step felt too loud in that silence. Then, a loud thud, like someone dropped a stack of books. Slowly, I moved, trying to figure out where the noise was coming from. But it felt like it was playing games, always just out of sight. The noises got louder near the football locker room. Suddenly, a muffled voice pleaded for help from inside a locker. My heart raced. There was a kid trapped inside. Fear gripped me. Before I could react, I heard footsteps hurrying away. I dashed outside, hoping to spot that van, but it was nowhere in sight. Rushing back inside, I told the office to lock everything down and free the kid from the locker. Adrenaline was pumping through me. Time was ticking. When they finally got the locker open, there was this scared kid, around 14, his arm cut up. And there was a man holding him with a knife. But as the cops moved closer, the man whispered something to the kid, and they both vanished, leaving everyone stunned. Days went by, and there was no sign of the kid or the man. We searched high and low. But the weirdest part? The van we found was empty, not a single clue inside. Years later, while renovating an old section of the school, we stumbled upon a hidden door behind a wall. It led to a secret room with old dusty furniture and odd symbols on the walls. There, we found journals detailing strange experiments and stories about a person claiming to control shadows. The mystery deepened when reports came in about strange shadowy figures spotted around town, especially during stormy nights. People whispered about a figure lurking in the shadows, disappearing like a ghost when someone got close. The story of that stormy day at the school had everyone buzzing for ages, and the tale of the shadowy figures added an extra layer of mystery. And to this day, it remains an unsolved enigma, leaving us all wondering about the secrets hidden within those shadowy walls. Being new to the city, I was excited about college life, but also a bit nervous about being on my own. The guest house I stayed in had a quaint charm, nestled in a serene neighborhood. Little did I know that one night would turn into a tale I'd never forget. It was a typical evening after a day of campus tours. I grabbed some dinner, settled into my room, and that's when the unexpected happened. The alarm blared, piercing the silence. At first, I thought it was a fire drill or a system malfunction. But then a voice, cold and eerie, looped through the room, instructing all guests to stay inside. A lockdown in a guest house? I never imagined that could happen. The creaking of the wooden floorboards amplified the tension in the air, almost synchronized with the thud of my heart. After what felt like an eternity, the alarm ceased, leaving only a persistent, unnerving flashing light. Trying to distract myself, I switched on the TV, hoping the noise would drown out the oddity. The repeated message every 20 seconds started getting under my skin. It felt more like a horror movie scene than real life. Just as I contemplated calling the front desk for answers, the phone startled me. It was the receptionist, her voice fraught with urgency, advising me to leave the room immediately. My heart raced. I felt a knot forming in my stomach. What was going on? I meticulously searched every corner, expecting to find someone lurking. Footsteps echoed in the hallway, but my room remained eerily empty. I looked under the bed, behind the curtains, even inside the bathroom, nothing. Then, my eyes fell upon the slightly ajar closet door. A chill ran down my spine as I peered through the crack, only to catch a glimpse of a face. Panic seized me as the door slid shut. The sudden sound of whispers, barely audible, sent a shiver down my spine, mingling with the faint scratching noise coming from the closet. My instincts kicked in, and I bolted out of the room. The staff guided me to the security office, where they showed footage of a shadowy figure prowling the hallways. He seemed fixated, almost obsessively searching for a particular room mine. Somehow, he'd obtained a keycard and slipped into my space undetected. But here's the part that sent shivers down my spine. As the authorities escorted him away, he turned to look at me. His gaze wasn't of a stranger, it was a chilling recognition, as if he knew me. That sent a shudder through my entire being. How long had he been watching me, waiting for the perfect moment to make his move? The eerie music played softly in the background, adding to the surreal nature of the situation. It wasn't just a random break-in, it was a case of mistaken identity. The man, tormented by a past event, believed I was someone else, someone connected to his haunting history. The fear wasn't just from the intrusion, but from the realization that I had unwittingly become a part of someone else's twisted narrative. That night, the lockdown didn't just confine me to a room, it made me realize how fragile our sense of security can be. The experience left me shaken, questioning the thin line between safety and vulnerability in a world that can quickly turn from ordinary to sinister.